All right, welcome. Today we're diving into something you probably use hundreds of times a day without even thinking about it: digital signposting. We're talking specifically about the hidden power of a simple web page title. Okay, let's just start with a question I think we can all answer with a resounding yes. Have you ever looked at the top of your computer screen and just seen chaos? This massive sea of tabs, and you have no idea which one is which? It's so frustrating, right? You're hunting for that one important page, but every single tab looks identical. This isn't just you being disorganized, it's a genuine design problem. And you know what? There's a really clear solution for it. So, the solution actually comes from the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, also known as WCAG. Now, it's officially called Success Criterion 2.4.2, which sounds super technical, I know. But the idea behind it is just incredibly simple and honestly pretty powerful. And there it is. That's the whole rule. Web pages have titles that describe topic or purpose. That's it. It's so elegant in its simplicity. And this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's the actual standard for making the web work for everyone. Think about it like this. A page title is your instant location identifier. It tells you exactly where you are online before you've even had to process any of the content on the page itself. It's basically the sign on the front of the building telling you what's inside. Now, you might be thinking, this is kind of a minor detail, but its impact is absolutely huge. So, who are we really helping when we get page titles right? Well, the short answer is pretty much everybody. See, this isn't just an accessibility thing. It's a core principle of what we call universal design. Good, clear titles help all of us find the right tab in that sea of chaos. They help us understand what a link in a search result is actually going to take us to, and they make navigating complex websites way easier. It just makes the web a little less frantic. But here is where this becomes absolutely critical. For someone with a visual disability who uses a screen reader, that page title is the very first thing that gets announced when the page loads. I mean, imagine that. It's their first piece of information, giving them immediate orientation and context for where they've landed. Clear titles are also a total lifeline for people with cognitive disabilities. If you have limited short-term memory, a descriptive title is like a constant, reliable anchor reminding you of the page's purpose. It just reduces the mental energy it takes to figure out where you are. And the benefits just keep going. Think about people with severe mobility impairments who might be navigating the web entirely with voice commands. A clear, audible title is what makes it possible for them to switch between pages confidently without ever needing to see the screen. Okay, so we have totally covered the why. Let's switch gears and get into the how. How do you actually create page titles that really work? It's a lot simpler than you think, but there are a few key things you've got to get right. I mean, just look at this. The difference between a bad title and a good one is like night and day. Untitled document tells you absolutely nothing, but Bank XYZ December 2023 statement, that tells you everything you need to know instantly. There's zero confusion. On a technical level, it really just boils down to two super simple steps. First, you have to actually come up with a good descriptive title. And second, you have to make sure it's inside the title element in the page's HTML code. That's the little tag that lets browsers and other tools find it and show it to you. And when I say tools, what we're really talking about is the user agent. It's just a fancy catch-all term for any piece of software that reads and shows you web content. So your web browser is a user agent, a screen reader is a user agent, and they all depend on that little title tag to make sense of the page. This brings us to the biggest mistake you can make, which WCAG officially calls failure F25. And all it is having a title that's vague or doesn't match the content. It's basically putting a completely blank sign on a door. It's just not helpful. So let's zoom out for a second and connect all these dots. Why does this one tiny line of text matter so much in the grand scheme of things? Well, it's all about creating a smooth, predictable, and trustworthy journey for the user. It all starts with this idea of continuity. See, a user's experience with your page doesn't just begin when they land on it. It starts a step before that. It begins with the link they see, whether it's in a search result, on social media, wherever. That link creates an expectation in their mind. It's a promise. And a good page title is what fulfills that promise. When the text in the link and the text in the page title match up, it sends a clear signal to the user, yep, you're in the right place.
it builds trust, and just erases any potential confusion.
So, at the end of the day, that's what a page title truly is. It's not just some random bit of metadata. It is the sign on the digital door. It's the very first thing people see, and it gives every single user the orientation and confidence they need to step inside.
And that brings us to the one last question I want to leave you with. Whether you're building websites or just browsing them, take a moment to look up at the top of the screen. Is the front door to your webpage and the ones you visit clearly labeled for everyone?